all will be better. Waiting for time to pass so a great event can occur. School's going to be out. Vacation's here. It's Christmas morning, finally. Or it's Easter and Lent's over. Depending on how hard we've worked or how much we were overwhelmed, when we finally get to that event, the time can be, we're just so glad that the waiting is over. And waiting for Christ to return, the world to be a better place as we see signs of this collapse everywhere. We're waiting, hoping and praying that we want things to change. We want it to be better. But obviously we know that man cannot make it better. So this waiting is one of great expectations, like you mentioned a while ago. It's both one of great expectations, but it's also one of the anxiousness and the fear. For in that time that we wait, we know that what must come before Christ comes again. Just like before the baby is born, what's going to have to happen? Before we accomplish something big in life and see the fulfillment of all the hard work we do, there's the trials and the tribulations that improve us and strengthen us and keep us going. Gives us determination, I think. Waiting. In all cases, the wait with the Lord or upon the Lord, wait in silence, in prayer, and be still. So you find in the waiting and the stillness that presence. Yes, you are here. And I have nothing to fear, for yes, you are here. And we never have to wait for you to be here, God. We never have to. You're always there waiting, but it's on us that you have to wait for us to come and seek and find you. 1, 2, 3, 4. How long do we commit or count before we say, ready or not, here I come? Run, children of God, run. He waits for you. Don't keep him waiting. And they that wait upon the Lord, yes, we're going to renew our strength. And we're going to rise up with wings as eagles. And we're not going to grow weary. And we're not going to be faint because we got God there with us to help us as we wait. And then more waiting to grow up. Oh, my goodness, we can't wait to grow up and get older, huh, Johnny?
No, right?
Yeah.
Until you get
and
to
then
a certain
what happens,
point,
so
then,
when we get older?
Yeah, then we
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah, right.
What can I do to stop this process? Well, waiting for crops to grow and mature and waiting for flowers to bloom. Oh, wait for the snow to melt. Wait for the heat of the summer to be gone. We're never happy. Waiting for hurts to heal and hearts to heal and love to once more come back into our life again. Waiting for time to pass. That night after I wrote that, when I got in the car to come home, I was impressed with the words to be still. Remember I said to the importance that I read in there about as we wait to be still, to be in the silence at times so you can know that God's with you. Well, I was impressed with the words to be still and listen to the darkness. It was a pretty night, so the temperatures was quite good. So at one point I opened up the sunroof and put my hand out there just to feel the darkness and to feel the night. But to listen, to hear what I could hear in that darkness. And then as I was driving home and I was just, the sensation of driving. I remember one time that as we were driving somewhere, it was dark, and it was like I was riding, like flying like an angel in the night, just my spirit was just watching that 70 miles an hour going down the road, and I just imagining myself as being the spirit flying in the sky. Well, I was remembering that, and as I was sensing that fast movement of the spirit, I hear the words distinctly. I'm coming, Elizabeth, I'm coming. And as soon as I heard those words, immediately as I'm hearing it, at the same time in my spirit, it's like there's this burst of in me of adrenaline, a light going off with it, just a combination of all kinds of emotions like, oh my, look at that. When you see something that I can't believe it, that kind of rush came into my body when those words were spoken. I am coming. I am coming. And we're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about the fact that he is coming and how to prepare during that waiting time and what to be thinking about. And it's important. And the signs that we should be looking for. And there's going to be things that we should be knowing. Very, very important because he is coming. But the biggest thing that we need to remember is that we have a merciful, wonderful God. The Sunday after Easter is called Divine Mercy Sunday. This is Easter this Sunday. But the Sunday after is Divine Mercy Sunday. And it's where Jesus wants us to know of his wonderful mercy where it's, I forgive. And if you just give me one open door that I can come through. It's interesting. You give the devil one little crack and he'll make sure he gets through there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, no joke.
Well, if you give God just one crack, he'll come in too with the light and the quickness just like he did when he said, I'm coming. Boom. As soon as you believe that, he's there. It's amazing. It's totally amazing. Oh, I was going to ask you something, Johnny.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to share. We know we talked all night about the true presence of Jesus and the Eucharist and the Holy Communion. Your dad had a church.
Yeah, yeah.
How did y'all celebrate the Last Supper?
Let's see. My mother and my father both did it very different ways. My mother's always a little bit more interested in tradition, so my mom would go over the Seder with us. She'd do her own, like what would they call that? Like a yiksa Seder.
Yeah.
And did that, and then my dad, my mom always had a couple songs she sang for Easter. The Easter music. I don't know. It's Easter music. It's such a big, big thing. I heard someone say that they didn't realize Easter was, and this is someone who said they were a Christian, claimed to be a Christian, but they didn't realize Easter was the high holy day of Christianity. I'm like, oh my. I have heard my dad give his speech, 100 times at least, of why Easter is the most important day. So Pop's really, he can be a fireball at times. So that was always a big one for him, is just that, it's the biggest day, the fact that, it's the crucifixion and resurrection, the new covenant. That was always Dad's real big message. So yeah.
Well, did y'all ever have in the services that he had the Lord's Supper?
Yeah, he would do the Lord's Supper and did that, and then we do like a more kind of like a bit more of just a drawn out regular communion. The communion, it depends. When I was growing up, because we were in so many different alternative kind of churches and denominations as a kid, communion could be a real loaf of bread sometimes, and and grape juice, and that would be where they'd start with, and it's it's definitely it was.
Did I say anything at the beginning about the importance of wine instead of grape juice?
No, you didn't. No.
Okay, that came to me at church tonight about maybe why it would be important that we use wine instead of grape juice.
Yeah.
And again, there was a importance of bread back in the Old Testament day, and why it was important that they had bread as one of the sacrifices. Well, manna, for one thing, was they remembered that. But bread being sacrificed and brought to the temple was a way of, again, the human has devoted his entire summer or spring and summer to planning and toiling, and then you bring this bread, this loaf of bread, as this is my love. This is, this is my handicap work. This is giving it to you as a part of me. And that's why bread was important as part of the sacrifice being brought up, the same as the goats and the sheep and the bulls or whatever. It was a part of their livelihood, and it represented who they were. And so the wine, I got to thinking about it. Why is it important, Lord? These are questions I'm asking for everybody out there, because I don't want to say to you, "Cause I said so." No. Why is it important, Lord, that we have wine instead of grape juice? And it's the process of making wine to begin with. If you think about it, it's the same way with our life and God changing us and making us into this new, the going from the grape of the vine to the blood of the new covenant. We have to be picked, crushed, chosen first, but crushed, blessed, broken, and given. The wine has to be crushed and put through this press to get all this juice out of it. And then sugar and yeast. I meant to look it up how it's made. And then you stuck it in a barrel and it's fermented. Or you put it in bottles and it ferments.
Yeah.
There's this time for it to be changed, just like you go into cocoon. You're changed. And this, there has to be a time of God's processing working in you. And the wine, therefore, that's the symbolicness of wine, the importance of wine instead of grape juice.
Huh. Okay. I like that. I like that
Again,
a lot.
if you look at the Old Testament things and how they did things in the temple and why they used this and why they did that, wine also kills in the body.
Yeah.
And to this day, the doctors recommend a little glass of wine is really helpful for you. So that's the importance of, or maybe the necessity of why, again, bread and wine, body and blood of Jesus Christ. Life-giving, life-saving. All right, back over here to, we need to go out with this is a song that was being sung tonight that really touched my heart. And let's pull it up. And thank you, y'all. Have a wonderful, beautiful weekend. Until next week, may the peace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you always, my brother.
Oh, thank you
and
so
all
much,
those out
Elizabeth.
there.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a great show this week.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.